The Nothing Phone 2 was announced on July 11th. You can buy the phone directly from Nothing's site. On July 13th, Nothing hosted launch events in New York, Dublin and London, among other spots. You could buy the phone there and even meet Nothing CEO Carl Pei. If you chose the right city, most people will be able to get the phone starting on July 17th. As that's when orders from Nothing's website will first ship and open sales will begin. The Nothing Phone 2 starts at $599 for a model with 8 GB of RAM and 128 GB of storage, rising to $699 for one with 12 GB of RAM and 256 GB of storage, and topping out at $799 for a version with 12 GB of RAM and 512 GB of storage. The Nothing Phone 2 looks a lot like the Nothing Phone 1, with a bunch of light strips on the back, and a flat screen with a punch hole camera on the front, though here the camera is in the top center, while on the previous model, it's at the left edge of the screen, and the bezels are slightly slimmer on the new phone. The Nothing Phone 2 is 162.1 x 76.4 x 8.6 mm and 201.2 grams. It has an IP54 rating, meaning it's protected from water splashes and partially protected from dust, and it's available in white and dark gray shades. The back is clad in glass and slightly curved, while the frame is made from 100% recycled aluminum. You get a 6.7-inch 1080x2412 OLED display on the Nothing Phone 2, with 394 pixels per inch, an adaptive refresh rate that can move between 1 Hz and 120 Hz, and a peak brightness of 1600 nits. The Nothing Phone 2's screen also has a 10-bit color depth and support for HDR10+. It's also protected by Gorilla Glass. This is a bigger, brighter screen than the Nothing Phone 1's, and it's actually brighter than any phone in this price range. It can't quite match an expensive flagship like a Samsung Galaxy S23 Plus, but it can drop to a low refresh rate, thereby preserving battery better. As with the Nothing Phone 1, there's a dual lens camera here. The main sensor is a 50MP f1.88 Sony IMX890, complete with optical image stabilization to keep shots steady. That's an upgrade on the Nothing Phone 1's main camera. The other sensor is a 50MP f2.2 Samsung JN1, and this is used for ultra-wide shots with a 114-degree field of view, as well as for macro shots. Compared to the Nothing Phone 1, the company claims to have upgraded the cameras with smart tuning effects, such as Motion Capture 2.0, which uses AI to track moving subjects and ensure they stay in focus. There are all sorts of other camera modes and features too, like 2x Super Res Zoom for telephoto shots, along with common modes like Panorama, Night Mode, Expert Mode, and more. There's also a 32MP f2.45 camera on the front, up from a 16MP selfie camera on the Nothing Phone 1. And you can record video in up to 4K quality at 60 FPS with the main camera, or in 1080p at 60 FPS, using the front camera. There's a 4700 mAh battery inside the Nothing Phone 2, with 45W wired charging. Nothing claims you can fully charge it like this in 55 minutes. Or you can use wireless charging at 15 watt for a full charge in 130 minutes. That's a slight upgrade in capacity and wired charging speed from the Nothing Phone 1, and like that phone, there's also 5 watt reverse wireless charging. So you can use the Nothing Phone 2 as a wireless charging mat for other devices. The chipset at the heart of the Nothing Phone 2 is a Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1, which you'll also find in the likes of the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 4. It was the best chipset available to Android phones in late 2022, but it's now been superseded by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. Of course, the Nothing Phone 2 has a mid-range price, so it's understandable that it doesn't have the very best chipset, and it does apparently boast an 80% improvement in overall performance compared to the Nothing Phone 1. The Phone 2 also has a choice of 8GB or 12GB of RAM and comes with up to 512GB of storage. It supports 5G of course, and has an in-display fingerprint sensor, facial recognition, and dual stereo speakers. The phone runs Nothing OS 2.0, which is the company's customized take on Android, complete with lock screen widgets, and its promised 3 years of Android updates, and 4 years of security patches, with the latter rolling out every 2 months. Of course, the Nothing Phone 2 also has those lights on the back, and they do more than just look pretty. This is known as the glyph interface, and it's a returning feature from the Nothing Phone 1, where the lights could be lit in a variety of patterns to display specific notifications, show your battery and charging levels, or act as a fill light for the camera. This time around though, the number of light strips has gone up from 5 on the phone 1 to 11 on the phone 2. And the number of individual LED lighting zones has risen from 12 to 33. This means the lights can be used for far more things, including as a progress bar, a visual indicator of your phone's volume, and as a timer, among other things.